I don't feel anything yet. When I wake up and she's not there, then that's a different story.
When you see it land on punishment, you know you're punished.
To pack her belongings for her.
Yo, tonight, the 8 live nominations of those who are going to be up for the 8th live eviction of Big Brother Mzansi show was crazy. And I mean, I just want to clear my mind and try it to unfold. It's a mixed feeling for me, right? Like it is right now a mixed feeling. So the head of house games went on smoothly today. Like we saw how everybody was gunning to make sure they get that prize. This is probably the second to the last head of house and the chance to get to semi-finals. And I think when you get to semi-finals, you're automatically in the finals, because those 2 weeks, those who are remaining are going to be in the competition throughout. Okay, I think those who are, if you get nominated, and that's what I'm saying now. I'm always confusing myself. So we saw how it was nice, and of course Papaghost finally won the head of house, and we are going to enjoy his reign as expected. He chose his loving, beloved wife, Mama Ghost Lerato, to be his companion. It was such a nice time. Like, forget it. Even though we call them vile, controlling, angry, rude, and all those names, it was nice to see these people also be happy, right? And then of course we saw that Sinai was in a bad mood, like in the bad of mode. I think he was almost in tears, or he was in tears. And then we saw Yolanda had to console him. Yolanda consoled him for most of the time, and then he calmed down because there's still another batch of trouble. And that was what he was trying to avoid. The nominations. The live nominations went on smoothly. We saw how the name Mpumi and Young Papi rang and resonated from the mouths of most people. And then those who were usually up for eviction escaped. People like Mark Jr., Yolanda, who else? Like basically those two, Makeke, yes, they escaped. And then it was now time for to announce those who were up for eviction. People announced that Lerato, Leema, Sinai, Young Papi, Z, and Willie were up for eviction. Of course, Willie's name resonated too. And then, but they had the opportunity, just like last week, to dip their hands in lucky box. Anybody who got the red ball and missed the blue balls inside gets to have the chance to play the game of fate. Now, the game of fate is the game where you are either lucky to be punished. That's what we thought. You're either lucky to be punished if whatever game you play goes against you, but if it favors you, you get immunity and get to stay in the house for the next week. You will be immune and stuff. Because last week it was a board where there were punishment and immunity, and you have to spin the arrow. Where your arrow sits is where you're going to what reward you're going to get. Willie had to spin twice, because the first time his arrow was in between punishment and immunity. The second time he spinned, it went to immunity and he was saved. And this week we thought he was going to win, because housemate people that said they were going to pick their balls and not show anybody. So they picked the balls, and they would hide it in their pocket or just close it in their hands, and everybody lined up and in front of a mirror, and they're all going to raise up their balls without looking at it. Anybody who reveals the red ball gets to go into the fate room. So they did that. Now, prior to that time, let me hold you guys up now. Prior to that time, a lot of people, viewers on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on social media, are saying that Big Brother actually favors Lerato. He just always puts her in the good position. He just likes the husband and wife dealings between her and Papaghost. So he actually found a way for her to win the red ball. And there was now time for her to go inside, because she won the red ball. It was now time for her to go inside the room of fate. She wore the white robe to cover her. I don't know whether they sanitized the place or they did something. I don't know why they're wearing that stuff, Sha. And then Big Brother told her that in her own case, now Willie did not tell anybody how his own was, but in her own case, she would spin the arrow, and it was between eviction and entering the finale automatically, right? And she was supposed to spin. And Big Brother said whichever it lands on, she was going to do it. And then she gently spinned it. She didn't spin it with force. She closed her eye and spinned it. Even me, I was praying like, make it just be say something good come up for this girl. But then she spinned it, and let me tell you, it did not stay in the middle. This thing stood boldly on eviction. Like, literally, my heart was broken for her. Like, look at somebody that was happy that she was going to spend a good time in the head of house lounge, you know, extra drinks, extra food, extra time with her boo-boo, you know, the husband of her youth. But no, Big Brother sent her home. She came out and just literally just told Papaghost that she's going home. And many of them were in shock, like, I don't understand, go home. What are you saying? And Big Brother told her she had 10 seconds to leave the house, and the door opened and she went out. He was in shock. When they hugged, I think he told her that somebody said that it was a fake eviction. And she was like, she hopes so. Maybe it was Willie, because we then saw that Makeke went with Papaghost to, I think, the dressing room or around the bathroom. He was telling him that he should just calm down, that, you know, Willie was saying that it might be a fake eviction because that was not the same thing it was for him. And, you know, Makeke was just, at this point, Papaghost was like, at this point, he doesn't want anybody to be in his face. Right now, it has not dawned on him, but for him to go to bed and sleep and would not have her by his side, he would wake up and not have her by his side on Wednesday, on Thursday and Friday. It would dawn on him, everybody should just be on their own. He's not in their mood right now. Willie came in the picture. I was like telling him that maybe it might be a fake one, because during his time it was punishment or immunity, until Big Brother called him to the head of to the diary room and told him that by now he already knows that Lerato has been evicted and that she didn't pack her clothes, that he should go inside the house and call the other housemates to help him so they pack Lerato's clothes and her belongings. And then he went, I think he called the likes of Willie, Makeke, and one other lady. But people like Mark Jr., Yolanda, and some other people, he felt they were haters or something like that, and did not call them. He packed her things, and he's just been very moody. Now, for a lot of people who were saying that he was in favor, Big Brother is in favor of Lerato, let's just be honest. And there are a lot of people saying out there that this game is quite shitty right now, that why would they put this opportunity and stuff like that. I'm like, excuse you, this lady was actually happy when she got the red ball. And when she entered inside, if she had gotten the finale ticket, would you now come and say it's fake, or would you keep saying that Big Brother is in support of her? Now she has failed, and then other people are now saying the opposite. It's just crazy. You guys should just let this thing die down, because it's painful.